Hey y'all, if you are a new homeschooling mama and you're feeling a little overwhelmed and a little unsure of your choice to homeschool, today's video is for you, so stick around. If you are a new homeschooling mama, welcome. There is so much information and I get it. It is overwhelming. I started homeschooling almost 4 years ago now, and so I understand. And since then, I have had several people reach out asking lots of questions. Where do I start? What do I do? What do these things mean? All of this kind of stuff, okay? And so I get it. And so in today's video, I am just gonna share a couple of resources and really just some honest trips. Not trips, okay? Well, I mean, you can go on trips. Tips and tricks to just kind of help you and to ease your mind, okay? And so I'm gonna start with books. You're gonna see lots of books. Today I'm giving you 2. Actually, I think my very first video on YouTube was Homeschooling Mom books. Okay. If y'all go back and find it, just have lots of grace, okay? It's my very first YouTube video. So anyways, I'm only gonna give you 2. There is a ton out there. You can do a quick little Google search and you can find thousands, I am sure, of homeschooling books. These are the very first 2 that I read, and I feel like they were so helpful to me. And I really probably need to go back and read them, but I've just added so many to my list, I haven't made it back around to these. So the very first one I read was Dorinda Wilson's The Unhurried Homeschooler. And I picked this because it is so short. I literally read this in 2 dance practices. You know, it was like 2 hours. I read this book, super simple, super easy, but easy read. But I felt like this was such an encouragement to me. I really liked this one. And then I am sure you guys have seen Homeschool Bravely by Jamie Erickson. This was a really great one for me when I was starting out as well. This is one that I definitely want to come back to. Again, I just haven't yet because they just keep adding to my list, you know what I mean? So those are 2 really great ones. Also, YouTube is your friend. That's why you're here, right? And that's why you are watching this video, is because you realize the power of YouTube and social media. However, let me caution you, which I'm sure you have already felt the overwhelm of so many thoughts and opinions and feelings, and you have to do this, and if your child this, then you have to, and you have to, and you should, and well, but you don't have to, but kind of you really should. Don't do that, okay? Don't worry about that. You do what you need to do for your family, what feels right, what sounds right, and what the Lord is telling you is what you need to be doing, okay? Yes, there is value in wisdom from the women who have gone before you, and you should glean from that, right? You should take those thoughts and those tips and tricks and things from other women. However, do not allow those to dictate your homeschool if it doesn't feel right, if it doesn't align, it doesn't merge. Even if you try it, even if it sounds really good and you're like, man, I really think that will fit, try it. But do not feel that you have to stick with whatever that thing is if it's not working. Don't give up so quickly that you didn't give it a good effort, right? Because your change is hard. And so there's going to be an adjustment period. But if you're like a month or so in, depending on what it is, and it's just like you're fighting against yourself and your kids, and it's just, you're like, holy moly, this is not what I thought it was going to be. Get rid of it. You don't have to do that just because it makes for really pretty pictures on Instagram. One big tip I have for you as a new homeschool mom, keep it simple, y'all, okay? Keep it very simple. It's hard to do when there is so many good resources out there and you're like, man, I really want to do this and I want to do that and that looks amazing. And pick the things that matter most to you and to your family. What are the things that you want to make sure are included in your day? Is it nature studies? Is it language arts and math? Is it, I want to be really heavy in science because we love science and experiments and messes? And is it adventures? Are you a family that's homeschooling while you're traveling? And so most of your school looks like museums and hikes and journaling for the day's adventures. Whatever that looks like for you, keep it simple. There will always be time to add a little bit extra, but you only have so much that you can scale back, right? If you overload yourself, you're going to be overwhelmed and you're going to be like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe I thought we could get through 18 curriculums this year. What was I thinking, right? But you already spent the money on those. Now, not all hope is lost, because you can move some of those to next year, but you've already spent the money and you've just created a sense of overwhelm for yourself. And there's going to come a point where you're like, I'm not doing any of it, right? Because there's so much, you're like, I don't even know where to start. So start small, start simple, and build as you go. Depending on your children's ages, that's going to, decide how much you actually need and what you need to cover. Obviously, your state laws and things, that's going to also dictate what you're going to need. But as many of those subjects, that's what they're called, as many of those subjects as you can combine together, do that. Okay. And I know that's going to look different for everybody. That is one of the main reasons that we use unit studies. It by far is my favorite because I know I'm getting science, history, I get a little bit of language arts in there. We're getting a little bit of reading, and we add on math. And then with the unit studies, then I'm able to pinpoint those specific areas that I know we need help. For us, handwriting and spelling, and then obviously the addition of math and Bible, although Bible is included in our unit studies, but I do like a little bit of extra Bible. But start simple. I started with just a unit study. Okay. With this is all I got. It covers everything, I think. And so we just started there. And then as we've progressed, I've gotten more confident in my abilities. I've been able to assess my daughter. Where does she need help? What is she good at? What are some areas that we need to work on? What is she more interested in? Can we, kind of amp up in that subject because she really loves that? All of that stuff will come with time. Okay. So start small, start simple, and just ease your way into it. Okay. You don't have to do everything. Another thing I want to note is not every day is going to look the same. And I'm sure you are going to hear this as you kind of search through social media in general. Not every day is going to look the same. However, people say that, but that's not what it feels like. That's not what it looks like, right? Because what we put on social media is the best. And we all know that. Okay, we know, we're looking at these pictures and we're like, we know that dining room table don't look like that all the time because y'all got to eat on that baby sometime, right? And so we know it's not this beautiful spread of teacups and antique kettles and candles and fresh flowers. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's somebody somewhere that it does look like that. And that is wonderful for them. But realistically, that's not what my table looks like, which we don't even school at the table. So that's kind of a moot point. But y'all know what I'm saying. Okay. Every day really will look different. You can have a schedule. You can have a natural rhythm, a daily rhythm, all of that stuff. But at some point, it's going to be thrown off. And you just need to be okay with that. You need to anticipate that. And you need to realize it doesn't mean that we can't homeschool. It doesn't mean that today was a terrible day. It just means we got thrown off today. We're going to try again tomorrow. And I promise you, I currently am in a season where no day looks the same. Okay. There are so many things happening in our personal lives right now that it feels like most days I can't get my feet underneath me. Okay. So trust me when I tell you I understand. However, I am confident that although we may not be getting all of our book work done, we're working through 50 states, we're kind of working through those. I am confident that my daughter is learning something every day because she is watching me in real time do real life, dealing with real things, okay? And she is walking alongside me and doing those things and working through those things. Are we having more screen time than I prefer? Yeah, we are. Okay. Are we not quite eating as many, fully homemade meals as I prefer? Yep, sure are, but it's okay. It's all right. The long-term effects of those, it's gonna be fine, right? She's gonna turn out okay. And so just know that even though your days look different, your kid's gonna be okay. You can still have a wonderful experience homeschooling. You just have to go with those ebbs and flows. And the last thing that I want to mention is community. It is so, so important. I naturally am a person that I've got my few close friends and I'm good with that. I don't know. I don't need a lot of extra. I don't need a lot of activity. Social gatherings and outings tend to, at this point in my life, just drain me. I'm exhausted. I like doing those things and I like hanging out with people and I like, socializing and mingling and all of that stuff, but I am utterly exhausted afterwards. But I realize the value in that, not only for me, but also for my daughter. She needs friends and she needs people and, we need to get out of the house. And so that is a compromise that I have made. But you also, that's in real life. And you need that in real life, okay? But we also have created, we as in some of us moms here on YouTube have created, and blogs and podcasts and several other things. We've created an online community that you are able to be a part of. It is called Made to Homeschool. I'll leave the link down for you below if you'd like to check it out. But there are a multitude of different moms in different seasons, some who have graduated multiple children, some who haven't really even started homeschooling yet. They're just kind of figuring it out and they're trying to. And then we literally have everything in between. We have moms with children who have special needs. We have moms who have illnesses, that are homeschooling through those hard days. We have moms of multiples. We have moms of only children. And everything in between. And so I just really, really encourage you to find a community. You need an in real life community that is vital to your success. I truly believe you need an in real time, real life, tangible people that can support you and encourage you. And I also realize that is not easily attainable for a lot of people. I understand that sometimes co-ops don't work and scheduling doesn't work and all of that stuff, which is why we created the Made to Homeschool community. And so feel free to check that out. I'd love to meet you there. Again, make sure that you have some kind of community around you that supports you and encourages you while you go through your journey. That is it for today's video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon.